Tesla stock is down in the pre-market almost 0.5%, sitting at 191.20. Here's a snapshot of my current options. The 230 call that expires on March 1st will expire worthless, and I'll be able to sell another call. That is, unless Tesla shoots up 50% between now and March 1st, but I kind of like my odds. We also have a 192.50 protective put in place that also expires on March 1st. Looking a few months ahead, I still have a 230 call that expires in the middle of July and a 155 call that expires in December of 2025. Still waiting for Tesla to fall around 10-15% in order for me to place a long call in 2026. Bearish sentiment engulfs Tesla. Rivian stock craters on production woes. Ford pauses F-150 Lightning shipments and more. Biggest EV stories of the week. Bad tidings from electric vehicle startups Rivian and Lucid cast a pall of gloom of the EV space this week. The weakness came despite the broader market finishing the week at a record high. Here are the key events that happened in the EV space during the week. Tesla shares have been languishing at depressed levels ever since the company reported a double miss in the third quarter of 2023. Fundamentals of the Elon Musk-led company have faltered due to an inclement economy, slowing EV adoption, and some of its own strategies. Morgan Stanley analyst Adam Jonas said in a report released this week that out of 84 investors responding to the firm's investor survey, 3/4 believe the stock has yet to bottom. Investors were particularly worried about the slowing EV demand narrative. You gotta be sucking the glass. You think Tesla is going to be impacted by an EV slowdown. From firsthand experience, the product is just too good. And it is constantly making improvements in an effort to disrupt themselves and everybody else in the automotive industry by proxy. In auto industry terms, this company is just hitting adulthood and finding its own, still evolving and becoming the company that it dreamed to be when it was in the crib. 3/4 of those 84 investors think Tesla has yet to bottom? Man, I sure hope they're right, because I got some cash reserves that I can't wait to dump into TSLA. Tesla went on to hike the price of the Model 3 long range in the US by $250, with the variant now having the starting price of $47,740. The price of the base rear-wheel drive variant remains unchanged at $38,990. The company also increased the price of the white interior Model 3 by $500. Commenting on the price changes, Troy Teslike, a social media user known for predicting Tesla deliveries, pretty accurate mind you, said the company could be discouraging customers from ordering a Model 3 version it can't produce and pushing sales of a Model Y, which is seeing bloated inventory levels. Maybe. Or could it be that the Model 3 is experiencing an influx of demand due to the release of the newer version? The beauty about Tesla pricing is that the method to their madness, you can't possibly know it. All this dynamic pricing proves is that they've got their finger on the pulse and they can manipulate the price in any which way they choose. Now, if I see price cuts of about 20-25% across all of their sexy lineup here in the future, there might be some cause for concern. Rivian, Lucid, Nikola earnings disappoint. Surprise, surprise. Rivian beat revenue expectations but missed production targets, as it guided for 57,000 units in 2024, significantly lower than analyst estimates. Lucid missed revenue expectations and offered a weak 2024 delivery guidance of 9,000 units, reflecting production challenges. Lucid is just burning through cash. If they're not going to be the premium brand, the Ferrari of battery electric vehicles, they need to figure out how to get their volumes up, or this company will evaporate. Struggling truck maker Nikola also reported below consensus revenue, as the company delivered only 20 battery electric vehicle trucks despite producing 133 units. So, I'm sorry, I don't think Nikola's reputation is ever going to recover. Someone's going to have to acquire their technology, vet it, and then make a new product with an entirely different name. Ford pauses F-150 Lightning shipments. After slowing production of its F-150 Lightning pickup trucks, Ford has paused shipments of its 2024 model years of the truck, citing longer than expected quality check process. A Ford spokesperson said the pause in shipments went into effect on February 9th, and the production of the EV continued at the Rogue Electric Vehicle Center in Dearborn. Move along, nothing to see here. I'm sure this isn't going to result into a massive recall for Ford. Something tells me they won't be able to fix this with an over-the-air software update. NIO tests humanoid robot usage for factory line. Chinese EV startup NIO is apparently achieving production efficiency, testing the usage of a humanoid robot in its assembly lines at one of its factories. Wow, that's really impressive. I wonder how much that robot costs compared to Optimus. Meanwhile, we have Optimus strolling around the factories getting his steps in. Question, what will Optimus be doing this time next year? VOLVO to cut Polestar stake. Volvo said its board has resolved to distribute 62.7% of its stake in loss-making EV manufacturer Polestar to its shareholders, contingent on approval by shareholders at its 2024 annual general meeting. The proposed move will reduce its stake in Polestar to 18%. I suppose it's time to let Polestar leave the nest and flourish on its own. In conclusion, TSLA has yet to reach its bottoming out point, and the manipulation of Tesla prices is due to the bloated inventory of the Model Y? Yeah, I'm calling bull on both of those statements. Rivian, Lucid, and Nikola earnings report back up the EV slowdown narrative. It's hard out here for an EV startup. Ford pauses shipments of the F-150 Lightning. They've got to make sure these things are just right before they get into customers' hands. It has nothing to do with the growing, intensifying demand of the Cybertruck. I have a feeling as Cybertruck volumes ramp, there's gonna be more of these quality control checks in the future for Ford. Optimus ain't the only robot in town. UB Tech Robotics has their robot working in NIO's factory. Maybe we can get a robotics Olympics? Don't look at me like that. A boy can dream, can't he? And Volvo reduces its stake in Polestar. I'm sure it has nothing to do with their confidence in Polestar. As a company, Volvo needs to focus on its own transition of the automobile industry. I'm sure Polestar will do just fine. That's all I've got for you today. Be easy. Peace.